you doing?
Good. I'm excited. I love this topic. It's always a good one. So, y'all are going to love it.
Oh, 100%, because this is literally how we both started our own businesses. So blogging is a huge topic, and we'll actually be telling you and talking to you about why you should start blogging this year if you haven't done so already. And if you're already blogging, why you should actually continue so that you reach your goals.
Exactly. I think I see a lot of people, unfortunately, who start a blog and they give up. They quit before the going gets good. And yeah, I don't want that to happen to you. So maybe if you're on the fence about blogging, you're not sure if you should continue, or if you're uncertain as to why you should start, you definitely want to watch this video.
Absolutely. So the biggest question is, Natalie, why should you start blogging? Why should someone start blogging this year?
All right, so I've got lots of reasons actually why you should start a blog. For me, I like thinking back to when I started It's All You Boo 4 years ago, right? It was just a creative outlet. Like, yes, I want to tell you that blogging is a great way to make money, and it is, but it is definitely not a quick win. And it's definitely not one of those I'd say it's an easy side hustle, but it's definitely not one that you are going to like be rolling in the money in like 2 seconds. So I think you kind of need to have another reason. Like for me, I started it because I just wanted a place to write. I had, I just quit the 9 to 5. I was working in PR where like so much of my time was writing in other people's voices, as other people's products. And I just felt like I hadn't been talking for so long. So just having a place that's your own where you're the boss, you can say what you want, and there's like such creative freedom in that. So I would say that's like one of the number one reasons why I personally started a blog, and maybe why you could start a blog.
Yes, one of the main reasons why I started a blog rather than, say, a YouTube channel or a podcast or something else, because the barriers to entry were pretty much non existent. All I needed was basically the blog and a word processor and just sit down and write. I could just create the graphics online, and I just could literally just have written content rather than visual content, which is way easier to create and way less time consuming because there are way less different parts to it. So I was literally just sit down and write and just sharing all of that information to everyone out there.
Definitely. And I think we can overcomplicate, starting a blog. So if you're interested in starting a blog, I actually have a 1 week challenge that walks you through all the steps. It's free. I'll put the links below. You guys can check that out. I also wrote this insane blog post, which takes you step by step through the process of starting a blog. Okay, so some other reasons I would say is, say, for example, you have a brand, maybe you have a business, and you are looking for a new way to connect with your customers. There's only so many times you can share a product page. There's only so many times you can share a work with me page. But by creating content like on your blog, you're finding a new way to connect with your customers, right? So your post can be about like the biggest problems they're facing, the solutions you have, your expertise, like things like that, right? So it's just another way to communicate without being like, hey, buy my product, hey, buy my product, hey, buy my product.
Oh, 100%. I remember when I was starting my blog, also 4 years ago. Basically, the first few blog posts I created were answering people's biggest questions so that I could help them and be like, oh, so here's the answer to your question. And if you want more information on how you can solve this problem, just click here, join this free challenge, and then this would take them down a funnel so that they could ultimately buy the product. But as you mentioned, without blatantly saying, click here to buy my product, because
Yeah.
sometimes the people need to get to know you a little bit more in order for them to buy from you.
100%. Let's see. And, I would say that a blog is one of those things where once you do get started, you know, you can earn passive income. So, I know both of us at this point, our sites are earning passive income. The majority of my sales are from a digital product. You are all about the courses. And of course, and I'm talking about It's All You Boo. On Natalie Bardo, I do sell my Pinterest courses as well. But yeah, it's all pretty much passive, right? We put in all that time up front to set everything up, and then it's just pretty much maintaining it by creating new content.
Absolutely. And as your business grows, or even as you change a little bit of what you want to create, your blog is still there for you. Because I remember when I got started, I would literally just focus on blogging, and it served perfectly well for that. But now I've changed my core business and focusing way more on my YouTube channel rather than writing blog posts per se. But my blog is still there. I still post 2 new blog posts every week with the actual video, as well as a screen capture, as well as with the images and text based on what I'm saying. So it's actually boosted the amount of content that I have, even though the core of my business has changed.
And you're a machine, because I don't know how you do it. All right.
All processes, which is something that you teach. So,
right. So those are some of the main reasons that I think you should start a business. One, it's a creative outlet. Two, it's a great way to grow your brand or your business if you have, another type of business. And three, it is eventually a great way to have passive income. But, I think if anyone's telling you that starting a blog is going to be like, oh, you'll be making money by next week. Yeah, maybe, but maybe most likely for 99.9% of us, that's not the case. So I really do think that unless you already have a brand or a business, if you're just an individual who wants to start something, you need some other reason, some very personal reason. And yes, I'm getting into my goal setting, Natalie, but you need an intention that, because it's hard work.
100%. You will be putting out the work. Sometimes people won't be finding your content right at the beginning. But as you said, you need to have that bigger why, that bigger question that you need to answer. Why are you doing this? Why are you waking up every day and writing a new blog post? Because that will fuel you, at least at first, so that when you actually grow, you'll have the other things come as a reward.
Definitely. So Marina, do you have anything to help someone who's interested in starting a blog?
Oh, absolutely. I have also a free challenge, which is to how to start a blog and actually how to drive traffic to your blog, so you can scale even if you took Natalie's course. So that's, both things go hand in hand.
Yeah, so we will, of course, have the links below so that you guys can get started on a blog and post if you have any questions. So thank you. This was why you should start a blog.
And I'll see you next week.
Bye.